Yes. Welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review, episode 174. This week, episode 1062. And this is basically called Spiral of Rain and Malice. This is a TV original episode, well, and original content, mind you. Now, this episode actually came out a week ago, and I now finally get a chance to watch this thing. And I'll basically say if it's good or bad or not. Now, this episode starts up. Now, we have the Take Place episode. And here's a rarity. Apparently, the Reddit this episode remembered, oh yeah, I hybrid as part of this group. Because it seems like, though, a lot of the time when they do these Amaranth episodes, half the time they forget about it. No, seriously, it seems like they forget like half the frickin' time. I don't know why this is. It's one of the most baffling decisions, but at least remember, oh yeah, she's part of the group. Thank you for remembering that. Took you long enough to remember. They're playing soccer for a while. We see a woman there. A woman looks like work in an office, per se. I think his name is Tomo. I think her name is Toma. Where she's basically like talking to herself, and apparently she gets angry at herself very easily. Of course, Genta thinks she's insulting, but no, not really. She's basically mad at herself. And she needs to play some soccer with them, and apparently she's really good. And to play for 30 minutes with them. Then she has them go home while she meets with somebody. And then apparently we cut to the very next day where she's found dead in a... Here's the thing. This abandoned car was actually just at the start of the episode. And here it is once again. This abandoned car plays a role. And here's the strange thing. They don't really explain where this car came from. It's just randomly there. Who it belongs to. They don't... That's the odd thing about this episode. I mean, we have a story element with this abandoned car, and it has nothing to do with the episode. It's just randomly there. Like, why is it abandoned? Like, how long has it been there? Never brought up. So, this one was found dead. They don't exactly clarify where she died of, per se, until a little bit later on. They do mention that she died between midnight and 1 a.m. So, and of course, Conan sees somebody from the Chi delivery service. Now, I'm not talking about it very much. The Chi delivery service is a recurring thing in this series. They pop up a lot in the series. They're by far the most recurring business in the entire series of Case Closed. Oh, here's one for you. Mori is mentioned, like Cargo Mori. He's actually mentioned a few times this episode, and here's the strange thing: does not make appearance. I'm like, that's interesting. I mean, advertise the character's clearly not here. So we see like typical, and we have Takagi and Kevin on the case. Interesting. McGuire does not come in the episode until like a little. It's like pretty much the very end of the episode, which is strange to say the least. And of course, Conan and everybody chase at this guy, and they find him in his warehouse. Well, apparently his leg gets chewed up. And mentioned he's actually a former felon. He's actually a felon, and of course, just by sheer coincidence, like right after the boys get there, then the police come. And it turns out he actually did serve a stint in prison, 1 year in prison for starting a fight. Yep, that was simply the reason for it. And this is like he might be involved with it. And of course, they'll discover an earring in the woman's hand. Now, they do mention in the episode that she actually had a recorder brooch that she wore, which, according to her company, they did confirm she does wear it. Now, as what happens with it, they actually don't reveal that until the very end of the episode. What happened to it? Was it stolen? Not really. Where it got there is a bit bizarre. So, apparently the guy's got an alibi, and then we talked to another woman who apparently has had some disagreements with her, and her earrings, like, oh, those aren't mine. Of course, they actually are hers. And I find the other one, believe it or not, tied in a bag to a dog's collar. Yes, and of course, Conan and everybody agrees to work with them. They volunteered to work with Takagi because they were the last people to see this woman alive, and I'm thinking, why not, per se, though just by sheer coincidence happen to know them. Now, interesting enough, Takagi's girlfriend, Sato, she is nowhere in the episode. Weird she's not here. And not even Kibba's girlfriend. Yeah, their girlfriend's not here this episode. Do not have an explanation for it. It's just weird to say the least that they're just not here. McGuire's here, but where are the women? Yes. So they investigate like another person per se, and of course they re-examine the case of the apparently a dead end. So they do find that thanks to a minor collision that happened, that they found out that the driver who drove the cheated delivery truck did actually know the person. Not by name, just knows the woman because he transferred back and forth, and turns out it was due to his confusion over what she was saying because of the fact he thought he hit her with his truck. Well, it turns out, nope, he had nothing to do with the injury. She just collapsed right in front of his truck. And she just walks right in the truck, no problem. Of course, he doesn't say get in the truck. He just does it by herself, despite the fact she's got basically a head wound. They drive back and forth to the hospital. Apparently, he's just panicking to get to the hospital quick as possible. And she has to turn around, and then of course he drops her off at the very place where she got hit, and then she just crawls up in a car and she just dies. The other woman, it turns out she had a meeting with her, and apparently she was jealous of her talent. She also sold some designs from anonymous designs from online. Interesting. And turns out she's the one who caused the head wound. And somewhat indirectly, it's revealed that the voice recorder, that's basically the approach, ended up her purse just by sheer randomness. I'm like, okay. And they're kind of taken away. Not arrested per se, but they're probably going to give a statement, and that's probably going to be it for them. The driver himself, I think he just might get slapped on the wrist. I don't think he's going to go to jail because technically he did nothing wrong. He may not be able to get he may not be able to get to hospital in time, but technically he did nothing illegal. In the case of the woman, the only thing illegal she probably did was probably hit her with a tablet. But that was probably by accident. So, I'm guessing these two probably just give a statement, probably get a slap on the wrist, and that's probably going to be it. I mean, they didn't murder the woman. No, she just died because of basically an untreated wound. That's what she died of, which, okay, interesting. I do appreciate the fact we have have a death in the episode, and it's not attributed to murder, it's due to an untreated wound suffered by one of the people who involved in this thing. Yes, but pretty good episode. I do at least get a hand of that. Yeah, for an original featuring Detective Boys, usually these episodes are not very good. Usually okay or pretty bad. This was actually probably by far the best Detective Boys episode I've seen that's an original in some time. Because usually good ones featuring them are canon episodes. Usually these original ones are usually not very good. This one's actually one of the more better written ones. High praise for that, and plus highbrow. Yep, so that's pretty much it for Cycle of You. Next time we come recording is out the bar show after that, okay? And then after bar, we'll go straight back to here to work on the newest episode aired just today, just to get this series caught up today, okay? Next video. Bye.